The majority of our revenue still is direct, but programmatic is an increasing percentage of that number, and we anticipate that that will just continue to grow in line with all the forecasts that the industry regularly share. And then we launched last year, at the end of last year, our own trading desk, effectively taking the first-party data that we have on our own site and going off Guardian to find that audience or audience that resembles those characteristics off Guardian, buying those and then selling them as if we were a trading desk. We call it Guardian Response Plus. We have had a magnificent, fantastic response to it, because actually what we're able to demonstrate versus just being on Guardian is that we're getting better results for our customers. So effectively, it then connects back into the trading desk ecosystem. And most, not all, but most of the big network agencies are tapped into the Guardian Response proposition, as are as well individual advertisers too, who might have a smaller business but might be looking for travel currency, for example, is one that we've done a great piece of business with. We want more video inventory is the first thing to say in this area, because it's probably the only thing in media that we know about right now where there is a demand for more supply. You know, it is the only thing I know that is undersupplied. So we need more video inventory. The idea of programmatic in video, it's interesting. It exists in one format in our business. So we've done a deal. I think we were the first publisher in the UK to do a deal with a company, French company, I believe, called T-Ads. And we have the in-read format. So as you're scrolling down through an article, you'll see the video, if half of it's in view, the video starts playing, etc. And we sell that programmatically. So I think there are 2 or 3 trading desks who are attached to that ecosystem and are able to buy that. The rest of the video that we sell is more or less sold direct. We just don't have the inventory actually to make programmatic a huge part of our business so far in video, but clearly, aspirationally, that's where we'd like to get to. In the UK, and let's go right back to the brass tacks, in the UK, the majority of our revenue is still in print. And we mustn't forget that that has been our business for 190 years, and in the last 20 years, obviously, we've moved to a digital operation, but roughly 2/3 of our money, 2/3 of our revenue is still print, 1/3 is digital. This year, when we report our results in July, we'll say that actually for the second year in succession is that the growth in digital has exceeded the very small actually decline in print. Print remarkably has stabilised in the last 12 months. So that's the UK business. And then of course, outside of the UK, particularly in Australia and America, we have a digital only offering. And because The Guardian has had such a fantastic year from a journalistic perspective, recently winning the Pulitzer Prize, for example, then actually we are beginning to see a real footprint, a real noticeable more interest in the brand from the US perspective. So we have a very strong audience down the coasts, east and west. That's where a lot of the money is, that's where a lot of our audience comes from, that's where a lot of the advertising agencies are. And increasingly, you know, we're building out a direct sales team to try and sell the Guardian brand into there. We have a report from McKinsey who told us that in 2016, which is now what, a year and a half away, in 2016 there'd be 4 times as many smartphones and tablets, and that's how I define mobiles, 4 times as many smartphones and tablets as there are PCs in the UK. And so for us, that's a real moment because it is not that far away, and even if they're only approximately right, if that was say 3 to 1, that's where our audience is. Now to this point, of course, mobile advertising, crappy banners, have not sold brilliantly well and have sold at cheap CPMs and have done all of those, all of the things that actually we don't really make us a huge amount of money. And I always remember struck when Steve Jobs launched iAds, he always said that it was a premium proposition. And I think mobile should be. Because mobile has all of those things. The user is likely signed in, certainly in-app, the user is likely signed in. It's personal, it's with you, it's geo, it's all of the things actually that should command a premium. So what we would love to see and do is actually mobile rates over time will grow. And actually with better ad units and formats, which we're trying to introduce, I think we can see some progress there because it is an incredibly important part of our business model going forward. I think And I'm probably part paid to be optimistic, but I genuinely am, because we've had 6 years post Lehman Brothers where it's been really difficult. And you have seen some businesses scaling back what they might otherwise have done and what their ambitions were. What we're seeing now is a better market. And you're seeing a better market which will enable people to have some confidence. And confidence actually breeds investment. And I think we'll also see in our world, particularly in digital, I think the last 6 years have seen a race to the bottom. And people have been measuring price. It's an easy thing to measure, so that's what they've been doing. I think you're going to see a flight to quality. Now, I would say that, wouldn't I? Because we would consider ourselves and are a premium publisher, but I genuinely think that people will stop looking beyond the very basic metric of price and start looking once again at what we used to look at, which was effectiveness. And I think that's where premium publishers have a great role to play. So I'm really optimistic about what we might see in the coming year too.